All right. I think we're here. Let's do it. Yes, we are. Okay. Sorry, that took me a minute. I had a little bit of technical stuff going on. Need this. Here we go. All right. Today, I have no idea what I'm going to say for 20 minutes. Well, I kind of do. And let's be real. I can talk. All right, here we go. 20 minutes. And I'm going to turn on the lights. There we go. All right. Today's topic. Are your emotions running your life? The answer is yes. And also, let's talk about that. Okay, emotions, what are they? First of all, so I was thinking about this because, there's different things that you do in your life and you get different sensations in your body, and feelings of well-being can be like, when you feel like everything is good, I want you to just take a minute right now and take a breath, maybe with an essential oil. That's a really good idea. Just take a breath. And I want you to think back to the last time that you can remember that you didn't feel like stressed or worried or like you're in a hurry or you can't be present because of all the things that are going on in your life. So just go ahead and take a nice deep breath in, hold it for 4 seconds, out through your mouth, hold it again, and do it again. And now just think about that. When was the last time? Can you even remember the last time that you felt a sense of well being? I want you to just think about that for a minute. And as you let go of the present moment, just think about what it feels like or what it would feel like if you could have a sense of well being. We're going to engage your imagination here to find that sense of well being. All right, what are you noticing? I'm noticing my neck feels a little tight. So I'm going to just be like, hey, neck, I see you. I hear you. Just going to release those muscles. Maybe my face muscles are a little bit tight. Go ahead and release some of those face muscles, those worry lines, those smoker lines. Even if you didn't smoke, you can get them. Unfair. Nobody talked about that. All right. And maybe you feel like stretching a little because now your body's like, oh, look, we're going into a sense of well being. Let's do this. Maybe your shoulders, you can let your shoulders relax. Anywhere that you're feeling tension, just do a little body scan right now and notice any of those places. And if you can remember the last time that you didn't feel worried, I want you to step into that. And if you cannot remember the last time that you did not feel worried, then I want you to imagine what would it feel like if you didn't have this kind of little, shrieky voice in your head. Maybe yours isn't shrieky, maybe yours is very like steady or whatever, that's just like always constantly telling you what you're doing wrong. But if you've got this little voice in your head that's telling you that you have to feel anxious, do you feel that? Do you feel that in your stomach? Do you feel that in your lower stomach, upper stomach? Do you feel the tightness in your chest? I want you to just notice where those feelings are. Say hello, just acknowledge the feeling. You can even put a hand on that feeling if you would like to just say hello. And then just go ahead and let that tension dissolve out of your body. And just for this moment, have this little moment to yourself of you taking care of you. So, what are you doing this morning? Are you on your bike? Are you on the treadmill? Are you going for a walk? Anybody got a chi machine? Just take some breaths. Notice where it's tight. Notice through your hips. Are you feeling that tightness in your hips? Just let that relax and let yourself be in this space of well being. So, all of the emotions that you're releasing, all of the tension that you're releasing, when you release that tension, you're signaling your body also that it's okay to let go of that emotion. And so, what are emotions? Like, how does your emotion, how does that feeling, that emotion, how is it running your life? Because it is, but like, let's talk about the mechanism of it. So, all of your cells have these little cell receptors. And when something happens in your life that's like scary or shocking or anything like that, your body produces your brain actually, I think, is the actual producer of it because it like it's the central command, right? It produces all these little chemicals that go out and they hit all these cell receptors. And when they hit on that, your body is then prepped for a flight or fight scenario. Now, we are not usually in the type of danger that our body is primed for. And so we just kind of have this, like, we don't have a good way to really expend all that energy because we're not fighting and we're not fleeing. Most of the time, what are we doing? We're stewing, right? We're stressed. We're worried. We're thinking about all the things, all the possibilities of ways that things could go wrong or things that are going to happen or this or that or it's the kids, it's the dog, it's the job, it's the marriage. Like there's all these pieces that are coming in and you're feeling these feelings and they're just like your body's primed for this fight or flight. But instead of having a physical fight where you're going to clear out those chemicals out of your muscles, or instead of running, which is also going to clear those out of your muscles, we don't have that happening. The fight is delayed, or we have a physical fight, which creates more emotions that are sticking to our cells and sticking in our muscles. And now we have all these chemicals going on. And that's just this kind of soup, right? That we're just basically swimming in. So, again, remember our emotions, they're the waves that we swim in. It's the ocean, it's the water. You cannot fight this in the standpoint of like, you can't make it stop. How are you going to stop the waves of the ocean? Like, imagine trying to do that. That's ridiculous. You know how ridiculous that is. So, what we want to do is be able to get up on our surfboard and not get pounded into the sand anymore or into the rocks or the reef, right? We want to get up on the board and we want to ride those waves. All right. So some things that you can do is the breathing, the essential oils that we just talked about. Last week we talked about some um, lymph support. That's going to be very supportive, and I loved. Someone shared later that when after surgery she had been told to rub her arm just softly like you would stroke a kitten to help to move that lymph because your lymph nodes are close to the surface and you want to get them working and pumping and movement. If you're walking, if you're doing the chi machine, if you're riding your bike, that movement, that flexing and moving of your ankles and feet, that helps your lymph too. And these are soothing things that you can do. Now, when you take the time, like you are right now, to take care of yourself, that signals to your body that it's going to be okay. Like you have time for this. Even if you don't think you have time for this, you do. So take the time. and whatever that looks like. So, um, okay, so now here you are in the soup, but now we're going to get up on top of the wave. You're going to interrupt the pattern. The pattern interrupt is the key. So instead of looping around in your regular cycle and going around and around and around and making yourself crazy and making all your family crazy, you are going to interrupt the pattern. And the way that you interrupt the pattern is you grab the essential oil. And it really is the fastest way. I think it's the fastest with an oil because it gives your brain something to do, but it also gives those 40 million trillion molecules in a single drop that are going to soothe your cells. So the deep breathing is really good. It's very helpful. And as you breathe in that oil, you're getting all of those molecules are moving up into your amygdala. And if you're putting the oil on your body, you're also getting that lipophilic action where it's going through your skin and into your bloodstream. And your body starts to soothe. Your cells start to soothe and start to get a little bit more realistic. So remember the story of me and my husband. We're having the argument, and I knew there was this new blend for women, and I had it on my dresser. And so I'm telling him all the things. He's telling me all the things. I'll never forget the look on his face. I mean, we're going back and forth and back and forth. And this was not uncommon for us. Both of us were in a second marriage. Both of us had old patterns. We had loops that were going on. Both of us were struggling with the baggage and the difficulties of believing that the other person was just like the first person, right? I grabbed this blend for women. Someone told me it'd be good for stress. That's why I bought it because I had plenty of stress. I grabbed that blend, I put it on my hands. I rubbed my hands together between yelling at my opinions about things. I took a nice deep breath out of my hands. And when I did, my cells immediately began to soothe and I became rational. Now, I could have chosen to continue to fight because I could have walked back into my pride, my ego. I was right after all. I decided not to. That wasn't what I wanted. My goal, my dream, my reason for getting married a second time was to find happiness and peace in my family life. I wanted to bring our families together. And in that moment, I realized I didn't want to fight with this man. I wanted the future that we had talked about and that we were trying to build, that we couldn't build because our emotions were getting in the way. And so instead of continuing on with my ego and my rightness, I decided I'd rather be happy and be okay with not being right. Because being right doesn't make me happy, even though sometimes it does, but it doesn't. Ultimately, what makes me happy is when we have harmony and we have that, collaboration and cooperation and working together. So that's what I did. Oh, I'm gonna get those. I'm just realizing that there we go. Okay. Um, all right. So and in that moment, then I said, what are we even fighting about? And I'll never forget the look on his face because he was like, what just happened? He starts looking at it and, he's like, what in the world? And uh, it's so funny. But your emotions can change so quickly and you can be in charge of changing them. So how does that feel now that you know that? I remember my mentor telling me that I had a choice. And she didn't even really use oils or anything like that to help with that pattern interrupt. She was just like basically muscling through and teaching me to muscle through. So there's power in the muscle through as well. But there's more power in the pattern interrupt and coming back to who you truly are, which is happy. You're hardwired for joy. We are made for joy. And that's who we really are. So we're not, even if we have kind of a contentious nature, it's not really our nature. It's our cells. So let's move into the cells of joy. Let's move into the ways that let's work with our body to create those situations where we feel that joy and the truth of our identity. All right. We've gone at least 10 minutes because I'm on the 10 now, but I don't know how long we've been going. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about um, if you try this, if you try getting an essential oil and helping yourself to just interrupt that pattern and take it a different direction. I want to know the results that you're getting. Is it like mine? I bet it is. That deep breath, the relaxing, like in the moment. It can be so quick, so quick. You just, in 30 seconds, your whole body can be serviced by one drop of essential oil. One drop, 40 million, billion, whatever, million, trillion, whatever the number is. It's big, more cells than you have in your body. And those are now that's available to you for that soothing, that calming, and then you can make a different decision. So it's still you making the decision, right? You're not just you're not being you're not being commanded or maybe that's not a good word, but compelled. There you go. You're not being compelled by the oil to do something else. Your cells are being soothed to the point of choice. Now, if you really do need to fight or flee, don't do this. Like fight, flee. But if you don't need to, if it's stress, if it's a misunderstanding, if it's, something that's like normal day-to-day stuff, interrupt that pattern. Interrupt it. Get out of fight or flight mode. Move into the place where you can make a decision and you can move forward with what it is that you really want. Because what you really want is joy. That's what you really want. It's happiness. You want that sense of well being. You want that feeling of contentment. You want that feeling of a kitten on your lap purring or a child sleeping on your shoulder. Like you want that gentle feeling, that soothing, calming. That's what you're looking for. So give yourself that blessing and that gift. Give yourself that sense of well-being. Give yourself the opportunity to choose your next step. And if you're finding yourself in a situation where, the choices that you've made in the past have led you into a position where you've got a lot to unwind here, that's okay. Take a breath. Start looking for that first piece, that first thread to start pulling to unravel the difficult situation that you've created for yourself. Remember, that's what I learned too, was that I built the life that I wanted, even though I didn't want it. Your life, let's see, what is it? Your life is a garden. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. What do you want to plant? If you're in charge of writing your story, don't write a tragedy. Write an epic story of you as the hero. Bring yourself into that position. If you've written a tragedy, your story's not over. You're not at the end. Start breathing and changing and figuring out what's one thing that would make your life 2% better. Just one thing. Maybe it's this. Maybe you're doing it because you got up and you decided to take care of your body first. So since we started doing this, I'm not super consistent at this part yet, but since we started doing this every day, I set my alarm which I haven't had an alarm in many, many years because I needed rest, like really badly. I needed rest. And I had the choice. But since was like, you know what? I'm feeling enough better. I want to set an alarm and do this. So I started doing that. Well, guess what? Now I am having many days when I wake up before the alarm, like a lot before the alarm, 30, 40 minutes before the alarm. So, like this morning, I got up and I got all the rest of my workout done first. I was doing this first and then the rest of my workout. Um, but now, today, I did that first and this last. So, there you go. Now, if you are thinking you would like some help and you want to get some coaching on helping, get this cycle changed for you, I am happy to help you with that. Just reach out and let me know. And um, I'm doing and testing a 30-minute alchemy session where you're changing that lead feeling, that heavy, heavy feeling of whatever it is that you're feeling in heaviness, changing that to gold. So if you're interested in that, just reply gold and I'll send you a form and you can apply for a free session with me because I'm testing it right now. So I'm looking for 2 people this week to be able to test that with. Anyway, have a great day and I'll see you tomorrow.